I get a kick out of remembering how much we look forward to the future when we were kids. We always thought the future would be filled with flying cars, would be filled with us traveling the planets, would be filled with houses that looked like the Jetsons, would be filled with positive and fun robots that we could all hang out with. The future was going to be so exciting. The one thing we rarely imagined about the future is this, and you'll agree with me once you hear me say it. We didn't realize that in the future we would be old. When we thought about the future, we just assumed it would still be us, being young and positive, maybe being 16 when we'd be old enough to have a car and drive with our license, maybe being 21 when we'd be old enough to drink, but we never imagined that we would be 65. We never imagined that our friends would all be old. We never imagined just that we would be old and that life would change all around us. And yet it does. Think about the future that's out ahead of my grandchildren. I don't know what it holds. I don't know if they'll be able to have a little computer in their hands like I've got this phone in my hands, that they'll be able to shoot out an image that goes around the world and they'll be able to record it and be able to tell their stories for their grandchildren, my great-great-grandchildren someday. I don't know what the future holds anymore. I used to imagine it regularly. But this is what I know it always needs to hold. It needs to hold love. It needs to hold redemption. It needs to hold reconciliation. It needs to hold relationships that matter. I thought about Moses, who went to take the children of Israel out of Egypt. Imagine it might have been a morning, something like this. He didn't want to bring down all the plagues on Pharaoh and the people of Egypt. He didn't want the angel of death to go across and kill all the firstborn, but the people were so hard-headed. Pharaoh was so hard-headed. He had a way he knew he could do it. And because Pharaoh being so hard-headed, it devastated a nation. And then Moses led the people out, and we know the story, how he led them out across the Red Sea and took them to freedom into a desert where they wandered for 40 years. And finally, he wasn't going to get to go to the promised land, the future that had been promised them by God. Joshua was going to do that. And so Moses only had one request of God. He said, if I can't go, can I at least see into it? Can I at least see what the future holds? And God said, sure. And he went up to the top of a mountain, and he was able to look across the river into a land of milk and honey, into a land where the people would find safety. Not easily, but would find safety and would find strength. I think for you and me, for our children, for our grandchildren, the greatest future that we could ever hope for is to be able to go to the mountaintop, be able to just look across, to be able to create today what they need tomorrow. And our only wish shouldn't be that we get to live in that future, which we're going to be old in that future, but instead that we get to at least just look across and know that our children are going to be safe, our grandchildren are going to be safe, our great-grandchildren, the world's going to be safe. Not from violence, not from the challenges, but the world's going to be safe because they're walking in the promise and the love that we had the opportunity to extend to them. That's how you and me get to be the miracle today, is by extending the promise that our children are loved, our grandchildren are loved, our great-grandchildren are loved, our neighbors are loved, the people around us are loved, our community is loved, the fellowship that we serve in is loved, the people and humanity are loved. Are you loving the people around you today? It's Sunday. The future is now. We're this age. The future out ahead of us, we're only going to be older in. why not go out and take those with you to the mountaintop? Hold their hands, love them, and point them towards the joy of everything that we have to celebrate. God is way too good, and our real wealth lies in being the miracle together. You can share lonely lives of mediocrity, or you can step into a world that's absolutely miraculous. I don't know about you, but I want to lead a miraculous life. I want you to come with me. Let's be the miracle together. Hey, God bless you. Have a fantastic day.